Okay, Nick and Andy, Liverpool against Everton's coming up in the Premier League. We're finally back nearly after a very long international break. A Merseyside derby is always a big one. But Nick, with everything going on with Liverpool at the moment, trying to close out this title, what are your thoughts on this one? Because Everton, they just love to play the role of spoiler in this game, especially under David Moyes.
They sure do. Here's the problem I think they'll have. I think this break was the perfect tonic for Liverpool. The games had come so thick and fast, as you like to say over there. There was the PSG problem where you just felt like everything had gone the wrong way and things weren't working out. But you go away, you go to your national teams, you come back, you look at the table and go, oh, crap, I think we're fine. And it would stun me. And I kind of hope it happens just for the drama of it. But it would just stun me if Liverpool were unable to beat Everton twice or unable to pick up a win at some point. Yeah. I think this will be pretty, I don't want to say decisive, but I don't think you'll leave this game thinking the Reds got lucky.
Yeah, Andy, is it weird to say that Liverpool might be feeling a bit low still, even after that break, and given going out against PSG the way they did in the Champions League and then losing that League Cup final to Newcastle? I mean, like Nick said, they're still 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, so it's not like we're going to start feeling sorry for Liverpool. They have a lot to look forward to and are very, very likely going to win the title. But I don't know, it's just kind of must be a bit of a weird vibe there. Like, oh, this is great, it's going great, but it could have been so much better, and we were so close to going far in those, winning a trophy and then being in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So hard to know how they're going to respond after that.
Yeah, has a team ever won the Premier League title with a whimper? We always say they went out with a whimper. It kind of feels like Liverpool are just gonna, they could sleepwalk the final 8 games or so of the season and pick up the trophy and have a nice day. And obviously they'll enjoy the celebrations because they didn't get to have it back in 2020 when they won the title, and rightly so. That they should have a great day out for that. But it does feel a bit when you go from they could win 4 trophies to 3 trophies to 2 trophies to 1 trophy in such a short period of time. And having seen how good they could be at points of this season as well, for it to all kind of fall apart and collapse at about the same time, it'll be interesting to see just how they respond mentally, because I do think that having been under Slot's leadership does give them a bit of a higher floor, whereas the ceiling might not be quite as high as it was under Klopp. And so I think I would back them to pick themselves back up and right things down the stretch of the season. But I don't know, there's some questions about the team right now. Some guys look pretty tired. I don't think he's done a ton of rotating this season. It's been the same 13, 14, maybe 15 players that have played predominantly all season. And now you've got Trent out, and so you're playing Jarrell Quansah over at right back, which is not great for the in-possession part of the game. And so it's really down to Salah over there on the right side to generate anything. McAllister's been brilliant this season, but he just had a very busy international break, and so did everybody. So yeah, I could see Everton giving them some problems in this game and making it difficult just because they do relish that role, like you say, Joe. But at the end of the day, this is a game that Liverpool should be winning.
It's true. But yeah, Everton did draw against Liverpool quite recently, Nick. Obviously, that late dramatic point that they grabbed. I mean, 4 draws in a row for them, 9 games unbeaten under David Moyes. Simple thing is like, what's changed? Because it just seems the momentum, the atmosphere around the place. Obviously, they're very excited about moving into their new stadium at the end of the season too. I mean, everything's going in a great direction for Everton, and it's kind of like it's a bad time for Liverpool to play them, I guess, in terms of they know that they're going to be sat in deep. They know they're going to be dangerous from set pieces, playing the ball up to Beto, getting runners off him. So, yeah, it is interesting. It makes it more interesting than other recent Merseyside derbies, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they had the perfect recipe to make a managerial change without really changing all that much. I don't think that Sean Dyche's directions were much different than David Moyes. I don't think they sound that different, aside from the accent change in the room. But they had a chance to make a move and change your manager in a vibey way, in a way that made sense to that team. And so here's a guy who's a legend here. The fans love him. There's reason to believe we've been underachieving by virtue of just bad luck. So let's change this. We know we have a guy. I was making the argument, and again, it turned out to be wrong because Newcastle have a trophy. But with Eddie Howe, it's like, look, maybe you find the right guy and then you make a change regardless of what the team is necessarily doing on the field right now. And that's what Everton did. They could have made this change a month ago for the sake of making a change, but they identified the person that they thought was an educated bet to make things better. So I don't think that they've necessarily been better because of some tactical function or some change, but I just think it was a fresh start. And the funny thing is the fresh start came from a guy who was there for like a decade.
Yeah, it's true. It's certainly been fun to see their resurgence under him, and it just feels right, doesn't it? It just feels right when you see Moyes on the sidelines for Everton, and everyone seems a lot calmer, more confident, and just clearer in what they're being asked to do every single time they step on the pitch. And for a squad that isn't that deep but has players who are very clear, right, Andy, and what they do and what they're good at, he's just simplified things and told players to do things in a very simple way.
Yeah, he's done an incredible job on and off the field, and to tie together a conversation we've already had this week. The U.S. men's national team could use someone that brings the fans back on side with the team in the same way that David Moyes has done for Everton this season, and that was obviously, the perfect outcome and probably what they were hoping for when they brought him back in. The team has never strayed too far away from his, tactical ideas, if you will, in the way that he wants to play and grind things out. But I do look at him, though, and think, okay, even Liverpool in a bad moment, if Van Dijk is back there, if Konate is back there, if Robertson is back there, who's still a solid defender, Everton are going to struggle to generate some chances, I think, because it is very much we've got to get Beto one-on-one with the defender and play a ball into a channel, let him run on, and hope that he can kind of beat someone or he can hold it up, and Jack Harrison or Charlie Alcaraz can get forward and join him in the there's not going to be a ton for Everton in this game, especially being on the road at Anfield. And so again, I do think they're a bit against the eight ball, but the only fun little stat here, the only team in the Premier League right now with a longer unbeaten streak than Everton is Liverpool at the moment. And, who would have thought that going back, a couple months, let alone the start of the season.
Yeah, pretty remarkable turnaround for Everton. And I just think to kind of cement the point as well, it's just a really interesting time in this rivalry, considering that Everton are going to be moving into a brand spanking new, wonderful stadium. Liverpool obviously look like they're going to win the Premier League. So it's almost like Everton, like, hey, don't forget about us. We've got a lot of good things going on. We have new ownership. There is promise of lots more investment. We finally figured it out. And I'd love to see in years to come this become a much better rivalry in terms of Everton being a lot higher up the table. And I think, from Moyes' first time around, at Everton, they were finishing right around where Liverpool were most season, and that made the derby and the rivalry there so much better. Nick, prediction-wise, what are you going with, mate?
I'm going to go with Liverpool, and I'm going to go 2-0. Just the reasoning being the last game was tight. Neither one full expected goal for either team. It was at Goodison. I think the variables go against Everton in this one.
Andy, you agree?
Yeah, I think very similarly along those lines, with the potential for a couple of Liverpool individuals to have moments where, they kind of break out of the funk that they've been in, maybe put the team on their back a little bit. So I'll go 2-0, but I think it'll be fairly comfortable for Liverpool, honestly, in this one.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I wanted to say a draw, just given the drama, the history, and what that would kind of maybe do in the title race. But yeah, Liverpool will find a way. They have too much quality, even off the bench, the likes of, Harvey Elliott stepping up and others. I just think they will find a way, even if they don't play well. Like you said earlier, Andy, they will kind of just edge their way very calmly towards winning the title whenever they wrap it up, be it late April, even sooner than that. But I think Everton will hang in there, could make it interesting, get an early set-piece goal or something. But with the stars that Liverpool have, just can't see them not winning this game. just to get one step closer to sealing the title. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest on this game, how to watch information, live analysis, reaction highlights. We'll have you covered. Liverpool against Everton, Merseyside derby, always a beauty, and it's going to be a fun one at Anfield.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, and as we head towards the end of an exciting Premier League season, make sure you like and subscribe on the NBC Sports YouTube channel for more content like this.